This is Ashen here. I am an extrasensory heart space coach, completion process and parts work facilitator, and shaman. Today we are going to be talking about shamanism. Alright, so shamanism has something that has been such an incredible experience to dive into my life, and it's one of those things that I was just naturally led to. So I was trained in a one-on-one mentorship with a Maori shaman for 1 year. And since then, and even before then, the practice of shamanism has been such a part of my life. So shamanism is 2,500,000 years old, and it is practiced all over the world, from tribes in Africa to the Maori shamans in New Zealand, to Celtic shamans, to neo-shamanism, which is basically taking part in the northern part of Europe. And they have their own kind of traditions that they created, and that's what neo-shamanism basically is it's all these different branches of shamanism that said, we're going to create our own, we're going to do it our way. So shamanism has been around the world, and it is a way to bridge worlds between Mother Nature and the use of the elements, and it's kind of an understanding of things like totem animals and spirits and herbs and medicine and dreams and all of these spiritual things, but in a very physical, grounded way. Shamanism was created in a time of tribal consciousness. And what that means is the tribes are so much more connected to their bodies. So shamanism is basically a form of spirituality that is more grounded in nature and that is more connected to the earth, because tribal consciousness in general is more connected to the body and to the land and to listening to spirit and the ethers and the energy all around us, but also honoring the physical earth and our physicality as human beings. Shamanism is a form of spirituality that is much more grounded than the spirituality that you see in the New Age communities today and in Law of Attraction. There's all this spirituality that is like, let's push our physical expression away because we're not having a good time, right? Shamans understood things like fragmentation. They created something called soul retrieval, which understood that throughout our experiences here on this earth, our consciousness does something where it fragments our consciousness, our way of thinking, our emotional body, and they had a process of bringing that and putting that back together again. One of the practices of shamanism that has helped me connect to shamanism the very most has been the use of shamanic ceremonies. So I want to explain this to you for a second. So think about weddings and birthdays. What is that? It's a ceremony, right? We get together with our loved ones and we have a ceremony around love or around the birth of someone, celebrating that person's life, or we have harvest festivals. We have all sorts of reasons that people get together and celebrate and create ceremony. And what is ceremony? Ceremony is a time of celebration. It is an experience. So we often have special decorations at ceremonies. We often have special food, right? So taste and sight, and then we have music, and then we have things like dancing and games and spending time together and coming together and talking. This is a ceremony, this is a festival, this is an experience, and we have them as humans for all different reasons. And this is what a shamanic ceremony is at its core, except for it's adding the element of consciously knowing that not only am I coming together to celebrate, but I can come together and celebrate actually by myself, if that happens to be the case. It brings in the understanding that ceremonies don't have to be at a specific time of year or a specific this reason or that reason. Like, they can happen every single day of the year. It can be because there's a full moon, a new moon, an equinox, just because I need some new energy in my life, just because I have this intention to manifest this thing in my life. And it's the idea that life should be celebrated life should bring us joy and passion, and we should have these ceremonies and festivities and special events every single day. Many people have celebrations and ceremonies, and the shamans brought in new elements like dancing to connect to our bodies specifically, and dancing to connect to each other specifically. We do these things to create a portal of energy. So that's where shamanic ceremony is a little bit different than your average birthday party, is that we're doing things specifically with the intention to have that celebration and have that ceremony, but in a way that raises the vibration of your experience immensely, with intention, with prayer, and with an understanding of the ethers and of the earth, and how to raise your vibration, and how to open up a portal of consciousness. And how that portal of energy is created is through conscious awareness of what you're doing, actively and consciously understand what it is that you are doing in that situation, and doing it with intention. So to intentionally come to a river and allow yourself to release energy into the river and say goodbye to that energy, to create chanting or prayer around that ceremony to open up your consciousness and your feeling of gratitude, your feeling of joy. We open a portal through energetically calling in spirit guides and animal guides, and really connecting to Mother Earth and the cosmos, and bridging a gap between the ethers through our physical experience that we've set up, whether it be a river, whether it be candles and crystals, whether it be dancing in a circle with your friends or holding hands with your friends, to intentionally take that physical grounded ceremonial experience and bring that in with calling in upon our ancestors to heal us, calling in, connecting to spirit, really feeling the energy of the ceremony build. Just like Reiki, just like quantum healing, shamanic energy has its own form of energy healing. I also do Wei Qi, which is a form of Qigong projected energy. So essentially, I will be moving energy into the ceremony itself through physical movement, through objects, through experience and intention, right? So whether it's really high frequency food or plant medicine like cacao, you can use cacao. So the cacao nib comes straight from the cacao fruit, so it's not chocolate, it's what we make chocolate from, and it's a much higher heart chakra vibration. And when you just boil that into some tea with a cacao ceremony, it really brings you deeply into your heart. You can also use blue lotus, smoke some blue lotus, that will bring you into your heart. So we intentionally can eat high frequency foods like fruit, like vegetables. Maybe we want something more grounded like a potato to connect us to the earth more, and we connect to the earth's consciousness and the earth's energy. And through connecting to our heart space, through connecting to the ceremonial experience of joy, and through connecting to the high vibration of the physical objects and the physical actions that we're taking in the ceremony, we raise our vibration with intention, and we are pulling in energy from those objects. We are pulling in energy from the cosmos themselves. We're letting that energy flow through us, and we're letting the entire ceremony, our awareness of the high frequency of the entire ceremony, allow a portal to open of that awareness. And what happens is you become so deeply conscious and so deeply connected to your ceremony, and so deeply grounded and aware on a spiritual level, but also a physical grounded embodied level, and this deep presence, that it's like you literally raise your vibration to a whole new level on planet Earth, and you are surrounded by this massive portal of energy that is pulling through the cosmos themselves, the earth itself, but also the physical objects and the actions that you're taking. And it's like this energy is coming from you and it's flowing through you, but it's also coming from the physical cellular objects themselves, like crystals or like a river, that is holding that high vibration. And since you're connecting to it, you're also increasing that vibration again, right? I have done ceremonies with my friends around fire, and we have had food. We have had experiences where we had emotional circles, where we shared, where we held hands, where we did Wei Qi, which is where we're physically moving energy within the ethers throughout our body. And it's just been so amazing to have these experiences. I've done so many ceremonies by myself, just by water, by fire, or by candle and crystal light, as I've said. And sometimes the benefit of going through ceremony with friends is that it connects you to a grounded version of yourself, and then you receive their connection and their intimacy on such a deeper level. And the benefit of doing it by yourself is that sometimes you can internalize the experience on a much deeper level and go into a much deeper meditative trance state, which is always the goal of shamanic ceremony as well. I actually have a shamanic e-course available for you guys where you can see 6 different ceremonies that I did and 1 different module where I'm explaining shamanic ceremony and how to create one yourself in more depth. There is a Shaman's Academy level 1 and a Shaman's Academy level 2, and both of them together are only $60 USD with the code alchemy, capital A, on my website. And my website is lushheartsblossoming.com. So thanks so much for joining me by the river today, guys. And so much love to you guys, wherever you are in your journey.